Hello, I'm here, and I got the book of She Who Laughs Last, and gonna put this on YouTube. So, anyways, hope y'all enjoyed it. It's called Perfect Pitch. My favorite story about noisy plumbing concerns a young opera singer at Tanglewood. The Boston Symphony's summer music camp, the director of the opera workshop told me how this talented soprano had to sing a role that included a long, difficult accompanied passage. A woodwind in the orchestra provided her the pitch, and she proceeded solo from there. One night, the singer launched abruptly into the passage without waiting for her woodwind cue. Words, she started singing 4 notes too high. The conductor waved his hands at her frankly to no avail. In a moment, she realized her mistake as the musical phrases became too high for her voice. She burst into tears, and the curtains were closed. The conductor went backstage to find her sobbing in the wings. "What happened?" he cried. "Why did you wait for the pitch?" "The oboe gave me the pitch," she cried, "and it was wrong. He gave me a high note that was wrong." "But he didn't. You started singing before he even played." At the juncture in the argument, someone back in the ladies' dressing room flushed the toilet. As the cheerful old commode filled, it gave forth a shrill, piercing "ee." "That's it," cried the soprano. "That's the pitch I heard." That night, a musical commode had brought down the house. Okay, here's another one. I know God is not a grunt like me. If I were God, I would have a housekeeper and paint my toenails red. Someone else could do the laundry and cook the meals. Quite frankly, I would expect to be waited on, and I would eat anything I wanted, mostly Rocky Road ice cream and spaghetti. My cupboard would be crammed with gourmet potato chips and expensive chocolate. I would have a perfect size 10 body and hair that shone and swished like tall ripe wheat on a breezy day. Whenever I moved my head, I would never have to shave my legs, blow my nose, feed a fever, starve a cold. That's if I were God. I would take naps every day and vacations. I would spend a lot of time traveling to the neat places I made, waterfalls and mountains and deep forest woods. Yes, I have picnics in the woods, picnics without mosquitoes or ants, because if I had made them in the first place, I could unmake them on the spot. Poof, I would simply eliminate anything annoying or troublesome, and I would keep the temperature to my liking, just warm enough to leave my sweater at home, sun that doesn't force a squint. The harvest moon would be my lamp every single night. I'm sure I would be a good God, not the kind of bad God you read about in mythology. I would turn anybody into a tree or a stump or something like that. Of course, I wouldn't have to worry about my creatures loving and adoring me because I would just zap them if they didn't. I would be Queen God. I think that's what I would tell people to call me, Queen God. And of course, they would obey. I would own everything. Well, that would make sense since I made it all anyway. I would live in Queen God's house. Really, it would be like a whole planet, and there would be a huge solid steel fence, sky high, all around. No one could bother me. Because after all, I would be busy being Queen God and reading all the books I've been meaning to get to. I would command my angels to take messages and handle emergencies. Private, the sign on the stainless steel gate would read, I like to be alone, not always, but enough that I would post my hours. Queen God is available for counsel, for supplication, and to answer prayers at her convenience, usually between the hours of 1 and 3 each afternoon, except weekends and holidays. In spite of my in spite of my limited availability, I am sure I would be a generous and kind God, or would I? Well, at least I would be nice to the people who were nice to me. But if anyone disappointed me, I would just up and leave the planet. Come to think of it, I can't think of anyone who has never disappointed me. Anyway, Queen God would no longer be available to bother it with anyone because her feelings would have been hurt. In fact, Queen God might be a very grumpy God, and a grumpy God would be selfish, unreachable, and vindictive. Perhaps I should rethink this whole divinity bit. Maybe I don't really want to be Queen God even for a day. Come